GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Is that
yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude.
he? How good is he? Woo! Jay Rich! Jay Rich! Jay Rich! How about them Cowboys, baby? How about them, Jay? I keep trying to tell you, offensively, this team is a juggernaut. Dak Prescott playing like an MVP. CeeDee Lamb back. George Pickens still getting it done. Big Jake Ferg. Hey, Jay. Anytime we get the dub, baby, you gotta put you better have your cowboy hat on, Jay Rich. Jay Rich, you better have your cowboy hat on. But GMGP, it is Monday, October 20th, 2025. I'm feeling good, Jay. Well, blue coffee mug, blue vest, cowboy hat. The boys got it done, Jay Rich. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling damn right, Jai Webb. How about him? Javonte Williams, one of the best running backs in the NFL this season. We got the best receiving core in the NFL this season. And damn it, we got a top 5 quarterback, Jay Rich. It's a great day to be here. GM, GDMP, what's popping? Week 7 of the NFL season, almost over, almost in the books. But we got a lot to talk. Jay, I might just switch cowboy hats every segment. I'm going to run through the whole gamut. We got a bunch of them. I'm going to just, every segment, I'm just going to switch the hat. How you doing, big dog?
I'm not doing as good as you are, Ray. I'm not doing as good as you are, but I am doing great. You know, it was a good week of football. Your Cowboys did get a big victory. You know, you made a lot of big statements there in the opening. And I'm not going to challenge you on them and let you have your moment. But,
thank you.
You know, best receiving core in the NFL? Looking pretty good. Jake Ferg catching touchdowns? Looking pretty good.
The new triplets. The new triplets around here. The new triplets around here. We got Dak. We got Ferg. Hell, quadruplets. Is that what it is? 4? Quad? Yeah, baby. We got it rolling, Jay Rich. I'm feeling
Is Jake Ferg
good.
A blood relative, or is he the adopted one of the quadruplets, as you tend to call them?
One of the best tight ends in football, man. I don't know what you're talking about. One of the best damn tight ends in football, and we appreciate each and every eye, each and every ear, every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday that pull up with us. We have a good time every time. Jay, it's felt like a little while since we've been on the regular Monday schedule. I was out on vacation last week, so we didn't do the show, but we're back. We got a lot to talk about. A dope weekend of football, man. Sunday was, what a day.
Wild.
Yesterday. A lot of different storylines, a lot of stuff to talk about. And we will touch on probably the best sports performance over the last 5 days a little bit later in the show, and it has nothing to do with football, Jay. But yeah, great weekend of NFL football, Jordan.
Yeah, no, it was good. And I think the funny thing for me is that, you know, you and I obviously do the picks every week, and the highlight of the entire week God, I got the Jaguars wrong. Who else? Oh, I got the Carolina Panthers wrong.
Yep, you got the Panthers wrong.
And then you were giving me shit about the Giants because, of course, I picked the Broncos. And the best moment was the Broncos coming back down 1 billion points, 33 in the fourth quarter, and you had to give me shit because I had to victory lap that one. Oh, man, what a wild weekend of football. I did pick the
Giants to upset Denver, and I was...
so close.
So close to being able to troll the Bleacher Report comments, but... yeah, they didn't get it done. We will talk about that. Shout out Jay Grizz. Jay said you're hiding that Trojan's helmet behind your back, Ray. No, it's right there. We still up, baby. It wasn't a good Wasn't a good weekend for USC. Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, CJ Carr ran all over us. We'll talk about that on the mock draft episode that I'll be dropping a little bit later today. We're talking all NFL today, Jay Rich. We got the people in the building. Hit the thumbs up button if you're around. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We have a good time every time. But Jay, this is vibes. This is Monday morning, instant reaction, hot takes. How we feeling now? We're almost kind of like halfway through the NFL season. We're right at
for fantasy, right? We're
for
7
fantasy
weeks,
football,
14 weeks is the regular season. We're getting down to the wire now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many places we could go. Do you want to start with the Jaguars and what happened in London with the first game? Because we can get through it pretty quickly. Because Matthew Stafford absolutely went nuclear somehow. He only threw for 182 yards, but he had 5 touchdowns. Ground game was not much to be seen there. And then, of course, you had Davante Adams catching 5 passes, 3 of those for touchdowns for only 35 yards. He didn't even leave the Rams in receiving. But, Ray, that's kind of an aside, right? Puka Nacua wasn't there. We kind of expected Adams to have a big game. Wasn't the biggest game from a yardage and reception standpoint, but he got it done, especially against the Jags. The Jags, really, the defense looked really, really bad. But everyone was talking about one guy, Ray.
Yep.
Because it finally happened.
Yep.
And even though it was in garbage time,
I told you it was going to happen.
Scored 7 points.
I told you it was going to happen. I called my shot. I said it was going to happen. Did I not? I called my shot. I said he scores this week. He gets his first touchdown. I wrote about it on Yahoo. If you're not following the content on Yahoo, I said it was happening this week, and damn it, it happened.
Yeah, Travis Hunter, 14 targets, led the team. 8 receptions, led the team. 101 yards, led the team, and was the only player who scored a touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr., though, Ray, dropping passes. Head coach, not happy. He didn't dog him at the media availability, but we can kind of read through the tea leaves there. It wasn't looking so good for Brian Thomas. But how do you feel about Travis Hunter? This was your guy coming in. You said he should be a wide receiver primary. He played 90% of snaps. He had a 30% snap or 30% target share in this game. How do you feel about Travis Hunter moving forward?
This is what you wanted to see. This is why you draft this player number 2 overall. It is, for anybody that's new around here, my stance, I've been 10 toes down about Travis Hunter's skill set and what I believe, my personal opinion on his best fit in the NFL. Jay, and what has it been? What have I said from the very beginning about Travis Hunter and his skill set and where he should align? Play wide receiver, right? Primary wideout. He didn't play defensive snap to the second half, Jay Rich. He didn't play one single solitary defensive snap till, I believe, after halftime. 15 total defensive snaps in this matchup, and the few that he was out there was one-on-one against Davante Adams. Great play by Travis Hunter.
Played well.
But he saw his highest percent of snaps on the offensive side of the ball. He didn't get anything in the first half. Couldn't get anything going. All his receptions, all of his yards happened in the second half. And whether it's a byproduct of Brian Thomas Jr. continuing to drop passes, he left the game towards the end of the fourth quarter, shoulder injury potentially. But even just his demeanor at the postgame presser, you see Jaguars great. Some of y'all kids are too young to remember Jimmy Smith, one of the best wide receivers during his time, said that should be the wide receiver 1 moving forward. I believe that. I believe they should prioritize him in the passing attack. Everything isn't sweet. Trevor Lawrence, once again, not good. And this is what we talked about last week. He's not that good. He's fine. Yeah. He's a fine quarterback. Who was that pumping him up to the high heavens on Friday? Keegan? Was it damn Keegan and Swim? Your 2 burner accounts? Pumping that Trevor Lawrence up to the high heavens. He's fine. He's a mediocre, average quarterback. But this receiver, even though he doesn't have the same technical skills as a Justin Jefferson today, the route running isn't his get the ball in his hands. Like, this is what we've wanted to see from Travis Hunter, and we got it on Sunday, and I'm hoping that Liam Cohen, this Jacksonville Jaguars team, they don't bottle that shit back up and put it back in the bottle. It's time to go. I don't know what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. this year, but normally I'm not one to really get on the drops bandwagon. Like a lot of, even Jamar Chase in his 20 target game dropped a pass, right? Yeah. Everybody drops the ball here or there. Justin Jefferson had a drop in the game, but this is a consistent pattern. This is a pattern that continuously puts their team in bad situations. It's time to move forward. Prioritize Travis Hunter, man. Let's stop playing around. and Jacksonville's dropped 2 in a row. They've dropped. It's time to stop playing games. Get him the damn ball on the offensive side of the ball. Let him be explosive. Let him be dynamic, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, you talk about Trevor Lawrence, and we'll get into another quarterback, I'm sure later in the show, who played on Sunday night. Some quarterbacks in the NFL are not good enough to simply drop back and pass and win a football game, right? They need that balance. They need a rushing attack, or at least a threat of a rushing attack, in order to maintain that balance. And especially some quarterbacks don't play well in negative game scripts. And we've seen Trevor Lawrence be okay at times and deliver. We obviously saw it against the Chiefs game, but that game was at home. This game was in London. Very different atmosphere. He's just not quite good enough right now. And, people are going to criticize Liam Cohen. I think there was a lot of hype for this team going in, but at this point, it's the Colts division to lose. Let's be honest. Like, the Colts are arguably one of the best offenses in the NFL, if not the best offense from just a per game, like point per drive perspective, because I believe they're still leading the NFL in points per drive in all-time history, which is just ridiculous. But this is a team that does need to make a change, right? If they can't run the football, what are you going to do? Brian Thomas Jr. was their number one wide receiver threat, and he's not performing like one, and so you have to make a move, and I think this is a perfect time. They're going into next week playing the Raiders, or maybe they're going into a bye, actually. Yeah, so they're going into the bye this week. Then next week, or the following week, November 2nd, they play the Raiders, so another get-right spot. I think at that point, we're going to find out, what is Liam Cohen doing with this offense? You have the bye week coming up. You move forward with Travis Hunter as your wide receiver 1, and then we're going to have to figure out, well, then what do we do with Brian Thomas, right? Because Brian Thomas was a number 1 wide receiver. He was a top 12 wide receiver. He's a player who people have tried to get rid of at times. But if he's only going to be a wide receiver 2 on this offense, that is a big problem, and I'm curious to see how people kind of navigate that. But it's going to be very interesting to see this all play out, but it does seem like Travis Hunter will be the wide receiver 1 for the Jaguars going forward. And when you drafted him, second, third overall in your rookie drafts, and maybe even when you drafted him in the top 24 wide receivers in redraft, it may actually pay off in the second half of the season. I'm pretty excited to see it happen.
Shout out to the wifey in the building. Shout out to wifey. She the baddest 1908 in the building. Shout out to the K's. Dill Esquire, shout out to my dog Dill. He said T-Law is not fine. T-Law stinks. That's what he says. Regardless if you personally feel that way or not, he's not going anywhere, right? He's going to be their quarterback for the foreseeable future. I see Jason and some other people saying that Brian Thomas Jr., when targeted over the middle, that's his problem. He can't catch the ball over the middle of the field, much better outside the numbers. Use him as a downfield threat then. Like, let him go play that downfield role. I still believe in the talent of Brian Thomas. I do. I think he's a very talented receiver, but right now, he's got a case of the yips. He's in his head. Things aren't clicking right now. And I do you think there's a little bit of pressure on him? Knowing that Hunter's right there, knowing that people want to see that going, like, what is the issue with him this season? This was a guy that was being drafted as a top 5, top 6 option coming in the season. And right now, you can't be anything but disappointed with what you've seen out of him. Now, you add a potential shoulder injury on top of it, Jay. This is a rough season, a rough patch for a young, very talented receiver. I don't think you're giving up hope on him either. I'm not giving up hope on him either, but it's time to prioritize. Let's do something different. Let's prioritize the guy that you traded a future first rounder for, player that you drafted number 2 overall. It's time to feature Travis Hunter.
Yeah, and I think you hit on, the reality of the NFL, and we don't really talk about that type of pressure, right? With a receiver being drafted behind him and him being implemented into the offense, and the pressure maybe on Brian Thomas, because he did have a massive season last year. There was a ton of expectations of him going into this year, and how does he handle that? Last year it was, well, he's a rookie first-round pick. There's the first-round pressure, but he delivered on that. Now it's time to go and be a superstar in the NFL. But, oh, wait, we're going to draft a new receiver to not replace you, but work with you. And I think the other side of it too, and you can feel free to comment on this as well, is I don't know if there's ever a time where Brian Thomas Jr., at least in college and beyond, was a number 1 wide receiver, right? Because he always had Malik Neighbors there to kind of be the alpha, be the number 1, and he was I don't want to say he's a secondary player, but then he had his moment in Jacksonville to be the guy, and then they draft Travis Hunter. So it's like, how much do they believe in him? These sorts of doubts start to creep in, and then they cascade with the drops, and now it seems like his confidence is definitely shaken to an extremely high level. So it's hard to see where he goes from here, because, I mean, when Parker Washington's doing better than you, and obviously Travis is doing better than you, and at times Diami Brown is doing better than you, you're very replaceable within this offense, right? You're not showing the talent that we've seen from you before. And again, Liam Cohen didn't eviscerate him at the podium, and he probably could have with how bad he's played this year. He held his tongue a bit, but I'm sure.
But those comments were 100% directed at Brian Thomas. I mean,
some of those internal meetings, I'm sure, are going to be rough for Brian Thomas, and probably have been rough for a while, right? With some of those receiver coach meetings, some of the meetings with the OC, like I'm sure they've been bad, and we'll see kind of how he bounces back from here, if at all.
Other side of the ball, old man Stafford, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 passing touchdowns on the week for old man Matthew Stafford without Puka Nacua. This game was out of control. I mean, the Jags couldn't do shit. The whole first half, they were terrible. Dreadful in the first half. If I told you Matthew Stafford had 5 touchdown passes, Jay Rich, you probably thought Davante Adams would have had a good day, right? Davante Adams he did. 3 damn touchdowns on 5 catches, Jay Rich. He only had 35 yards in the game, but 3 of his 5 grabs went for touchdowns. This was one of the things that we talked about with Adams coming over, his huge touchdown opportunity in this offense, playing alongside Puka Nacua. No Puka in this one. There was no one receiver that got everything, right? There wasn't a big monstrous day from a yardage standpoint, from a reception standpoint. You had 3 different tight ends get in the action in this matchup. Jake Ferguson, Colby Parkinson had a touchdown called back. Konate Mumfield scored a touchdown. It was just Matthew Stafford. And the crazy part was the Rams didn't even get to London until the day before the game because of travel issues. So they were jet lagged. They're just like, hey, let's go take care of business and get up out of here. Any strong takeaways from the Rams side of the ball before we move on? I mean, Adams did his thing. I don't have any. Kyron was still the guy. I know you look at the final box score and it's like, man,
game was out of hand, right?
Game was way out of hand. They didn't even need to run the ball. Yeah.
I think it's just the thing for me is it sucks that Kyron didn't score, but it kind of is what it is. The Jaguars defense is pretty strong in this game. They played all right. It's just, there's not a lot of takeaways here. It's really just if you did want to take a shot, maybe on a Higbee who did get 6 targets. Tight end is a game where, we talked about Gadson last week and you're like, well, do you start him? It's like, well, he's a tight end, so why not start him? Because tight ends are boom or bust anyways, so maybe you want to look at Higbee as a potential option, but it's kind of the Adams show at this point. Kyron's going to be the guy in a more, I guess, neutral game script. This one was out of hand, so they gave Corum some carries. And he still was worse than Kyron anyway, so it's not like he was any better. But yeah, no real takeaways here. Would you be trading for Stafford potentially if you needed a quarterback right now?
I mean, I think we talked about this last week and how we felt about Stafford long-term, trading for him, I would like to have him. What am I giving up? I want to be careful with how I say, I would just go trade for Matthew Stafford, right? I don't want to say it that way, but
I'm not buying into. I like Stafford a lot. I'm fine having him. I just don't know if I want to trade for him.
That's what I mean.
Because these games, he's not going to do this that often. I don't think the volume's really been there. I don't think the Rams played overly well, even though he did throw over 5 touchdowns.
They played good football, man. They played good football.
They played good football, but if he doesn't throw for 5 touchdowns, he still only threw for 182 yards. So the offense is still kind of like, it's working through some things without Puka. It's a different offense without Puka. And we kind of saw that. We saw it against Baltimore as well.
All right, Jay Rich, enough of this game. Let's go to another one that, we kind of had the game script totally wrong. We thought this was a matchup where one team would be able to successfully run the ball against the other team, and it would be the passing attack that suffered, and it was completely the opposite. And I just want to say this. Jalen Hurts, his mental makeup, that dude's got to have Teflon. And when you think about all the things that Jalen Hurts has gone through to get to this point, from being incredibly successful early in his career at Alabama, getting replaced at Alabama, staying after he got replaced, then taking his talents to Oklahoma to lead them to a college football playoff berth, getting drafted in the 2nd round, overcoming Carson Wentz, who was coming off of damn near an MVP season a few years before, winning the I have not seen a former Super Bowl MVP disparaged as badly and as harshly as Jalen Hurts has been throughout the first 6 weeks of the season. To just lead this team to a Super Bowl, win an MVP, people wanted him out the goddamn league. Get him out of the league. We don't need him here in Philadelphia. There are reporters, Jay Rich, I saw it this morning, doing some research. reporters from Philadelphia, what a great city, right? Great city of Philadelphia, fine people out there in Philly. They wanted Tanner McKee to start. Tanner McKee should be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia. These are real-ass reporters. Tanner McKee should be the starter. Jalen Hurts, all he does is go out there every week knowing A.J. Brown is disgruntled, knowing DeVonta Smith is disgruntled, knowing that the whole world is saying, hey, man, y'all got to figure this shit out on the offensive side of the ball. And what did Jalen Hurts do in this matchup, Jay Rich? What did Jalen Hurts do in this matchup? Was surgical. He didn't throw the ball 37 times because you don't want Hurts throwing the ball 40-plus times. Threw it 23. Perfect recipe for success. Completed 19 passes, loved the efficiency. Pushed the ball downfield and consolidated the targets to the two big dogs. DeVonta Smith, career day, 9 for 183 and 1. A.J. Brown, I know it was only 4 receptions. Hey, we could talk about, was A.J. still pissed at the end of the game? He dapped up Howie Roseman, Jay, but he didn't look happy. Still looked a little disgruntled, A.J. Brown, but he had 4 for 121 and 2 touchdowns on 6 targets. All of the work went to those guys. Saquon Barkley, the prior 2 weeks, weeks 5 and 6, 18 total carries. This week, he got 18 carries in the game. It wasn't effective, but they committed to running the ball, trying to get Saquon Barkley going. Talk about Jalen Hurts' bounce-back performance. He was surgical in this one. Threw the ball with confidence, pushed the ball down the field, and got it to his playmakers. Talk about Jalen Hurts, 306 yards and 3 touchdowns, and didn't do a damn thing on the ground, Jay Rich. Negative 10 rushing yards for Jalen Hurts, still one of the top dogs in fantasy on the week.
Yeah, this was a very surprising performance for a lot of reasons, right? You know, just from the matchup perspective alone, I believe no quarterback had thrown for more than 216 yards on the Minnesota Vikings all season coming into this game. Jalen Hurts obviously threw for 326. And then on top of that, it was the rushing defense that was struggling for the Vikings, so we thought maybe Philly can come in and run the football effectively. They weren't able to do that at all, so they were forced to pass. And when they were forced to pass, what did? They converted on just about every opportunity they had. Jalen Hurts was probably the best we've seen him all season, and I believe it was in the postgame walking to the tunnel where he said, we're not losing again, right? Because he's sick of losing. Obviously, they're 5-2, but they're playing really good football, and this is where hopefully, Ray, we see the complementary football side of things that we haven't seen. It's like, oh, damn, if you're playing the Eagles next week, it's like, well, now we got to worry about the pass because this pass game is coming. And so now, Ray, they got their next crack at the Giants. Right? So they're coming off this big win against Minnesota. They got their next crack at the Giants coming in. Jalen Hurts playing at a very high level. They're not going to be able to key in on the run as much because the passing game got going against the Vikings. So I'm curious to see what this does for this team. And I think it's on a similar timeline to like we saw last season where the offense was kind of okay and it was struggling. And the next thing you know, they just start going on a run, getting on a heater late in the season, playing better. I'm still have some concerns about Saquon, and I do want your thoughts on him. 18 for 44. It's not good for Saquon. It's really not. And at this stage, why would you continue to have him on your roster if you can get a serviceable cash at this stage?
Because no one's going to pay for what Saquon did last year. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not that concerned, Jay. You know what I'm most concerned about with Saquon week after week? Just finishing the week healthy. Do I have a running back? He's going to get touches. Every week, it's not going to be this big-time rushing performance. But what I love to see out of Philly on yesterday, was the commitment to try to run the ball. There's something going on with the offensive front. They had all their offensive linemen in there. Mailata was there. Lane Johnson was there. They got Landon Dickerson back. It was their commitment to just continue. And sometimes that's the game. That's the game. Sometimes you're going to run the ball 20, 30 times and not have a lot of success on the ground. But you have to stay committed to the run, to keep defenses honest, to keep your offensive game plan on schedule, to make sure the play action game works, to keep them honest. And no, he has not finished higher than RB7 since week 1. So to sit here and be like, hey, the problem has already kind of been there. He has not been what you signed up for. But what we're not going to see is him lose work to Will Shipley. He's not going to lose work to Tank Bigsby. He's still involved in the offense. So I'll continue to buy into the volume. I'll continue to buy into the opportunity. And at some point, it's got to materialize. It's got to materialize and turn it. And maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. But I'm still not going to kick Saquon out of the good graces. I'm done with him. I'm selling him for peanuts. Like, what could you move him for? You know, how you feel about Saquon Barkley and your belief in the player and the talent and what he could be is probably worth far more than anybody's going to actually pay you for the current production. So he's still getting totes. He's still getting touches. I'm not worried about it too. I mean, you've already been worried, but it is what it is at this point.
Okay, so then moving on with the Eagles, how do you feel about Smitty and A.J. Brown going forward? This is, I believe, backed-to-back good games for DeVonta Smith. A.J. Brown, I think it's a little bit worse, but
what do you think about A.J.?
Because the Tampa.
You think A.J. was still mad a little bit? His facial expression didn't exude a lot of happiness, but he had 2 damn touchdowns, 21 yards. Maybe he wanted some more opportunity, but he got the shots when Hurts needed him and he needed the big play. He found A.J. Brown. AJ just didn't look happy at the end, man. I'm gonna put it. He just didn't look that happy.
If you're asking me who do I want going forward, I think the answer for me is DeVonta Smith.
Smith looks good.
DeVonta Smith is looking like the receiver we saw at Alabama.
Yes.
Right? And he had to cede volume to AJ Brown for multiple seasons, kind of wait for his turn. Like, what if this is actually his shot to be the number 1 wide receiver? And it's because everyone else thinks AJ's the number 1 wide receiver, and he's the guy getting all the work. But, like, to be honest, DeVonta Smith's been the better receiver for multiple weeks, right? And if AJ's going to keep seeing top coverage, why can't Smitty be the better receiver for fantasy purposes? Like, we always talk about this guy as a okay wide receiver 2, not going to see a ton of volume because he's not the guy. Like, what if he actually is the guy? And maybe we should be looking to trade for a player like DeVonta Smith, you know, more on a redraft basis and things like that, because he could be the guy going forward. I wouldn't be shocked by it. You know, when he had the Denver game, I thought he'd have a good game there because he was up against Riley Moss. He had a great game as a number 2 against Minnesota. Like, it's just these things are starting to happen for him and they're stacking good games. Like, AJ's just still a player that I struggle to buy into right now. And if the price is equal for both, I think I'd be buying into DeVonta Smith over AJ Brown.
Well, I mean, I think you're totally within your bounds to say you would prefer that. I think they're both great receivers. I think DeVonta Smith won the goddamn Heisman, right, at Alabama. Like, this dude is a legitimate number 1 receiving option. He just happens to play with another extremely talented, perennial, all-pro caliber wideout.
You see what Brian said? Reminds me of JSN and Metcalf.
Let me see. What is it?
With Smitty obviously being the JSN and Metcalf being the AJ Brown, which I actually think is very fair.
Okay.
Like, I think it's very fair. I still like AJ a lot, but
I think
it's a very fair comparison.
I think there's a world where at this stage of their career, Smitty may be able to do a little more. Smitty may be a little more spry, a little more springy. But AJ, like, did we not watch the same game? This dude is still a freaking tank out there at wide receiver. He's still able to get deep. The hands are immaculate. He's good after the catch. I think A.J. Brown is just fine. And these are co-alphas. These are co-alphas in this. Can I frame it that way? They're both co-alphas?
Yeah. They're 1A, 1Bs.
All right. Well, let's talk, Jay. One of the more unexpected good games that was an awful game for 3 quarters. And then in the 4th quarter, Bo Nix, Jay Rich. Bo Nix. Bo. The chat killed him on Friday. Ray, he sucks. Not good. Terrible. Not good. What are you talking about? Bo hadn't been good. What did I say on Friday? What did I say on Friday?
I don't know.
What did I say?
Friday, to be honest.
Jay Rich, I said don't panic. He's not playing great, but he's still great for fantasy. You know who QB1 was on the week? By a wide margin. Wasn't 5 wasn't 5 touchdown Matthew Stafford. Wasn't MVP should be front runner Patrick Mahomes. Wasn't Dak Prescott. It was Bo Nix. Bo Nix, who looked like prime Lamar Jackson out there in the 4th quarter. He's throwing the ball all over the place, running around like crazy. 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. I believe the first player in modern era history to go 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns in the 4th quarter, Jay Rich. Bo Nix was out there putting history on wax. What a collapse by the Giants.
What are the Giants doing?
What a collapse. I mean, what are you doing? What are y'all doing?
The first team to score 33 points after being shut out for 3 quarters. And they won the football game.
And they won.
And I think that stat is exclusive over whether or not they actually won the game, and they won the game anyways. And the Giants still put up 13 points in the fourth quarter. It wasn't like they didn't put up any. They still put up 13, and they lost because their kicker couldn't make an extra point.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Kickers, not good. Jay Rich, Jaxson Dart, 15 for 33, 283, 3 touchdowns, a pick, 4 sacks.
Where are we at on Dart, Ray? He was not good in this game, but he did find some open playmakers down the field.
So how do you want to take this conversation? His NFL on-field play, fantasy football-wise, he provides a spark. I'm just going to say that. I didn't say it last week, but I'm going to say it this week. The same shit that Caleb Williams gets heat for, Jaxson Dart does the same thing. Running around, not on schedule. He's getting away with it because he's finding bodies down the field. But the same thing that people hate about Caleb Williams' play, Jaxson Dart is doing the same stuff. He's doing the same thing. He's gotten away with it, and he's made some plays, but he's doing the same thing. He gets to the back of the drop, and he's running around, right? And everybody is praising him for it. And for the most part, Jay, he's gotten away with it. It's where he's beaten 2 top teams. He's beaten the Eagles. He's beaten the Chargers. He came into Denver as a massive underdog. Should have won this game. And matter of fact, it wasn't his fault that they lost the game. Even with the end, it wasn't his fault that they lost the game. I thought he was creative. I'm with you. I didn't think he played particularly great, but he also wasn't the reason why they lost the game. It wasn't Jaxson Dart's fault why the Giants lost the game. All I'm saying is it's what's good for the goose has also got to be good for the gander, right? He runs around and plays off script. People love it. Caleb does it. People hate it. I thought he was all right.
Too, though.
I thought he was all right.
For fantasy, he was great. Actual quarterback play, Jaxson Dart was definitely a little bit suspect, but he made some big plays. Kafka called some great plays, and they were able to hit those shot plays in some big moments. But yeah, man, it's tough with this QB because he hit Wandale on some great opportunities. He obviously had the touchdown to Bellinger, the Theo Johnson touchdown. It is what it is, man. Like, that's just football sometimes, and things don't break your way. But yeah, like, Dart is a tough evaluation, and it's like we don't want to overrate him, but at the same time, like, we do have to give him credit because this is a defense that we said is one of the best in football. And they put up 32 points on them, and they probably should have won this football game. So you do have to give him that credit. But yeah, like, this team is clearly lacking a little bit. And, you know, it's that exciting whites narrative, right? And that's why Jaxson Dart doesn't really catch the heat that he probably should to some extent. And I still remember Baker at the podium, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where he's talking about how I've always been the same quarterback I've always been. Just now, you guys like me because I'm winning games and I'm playing well. And that's really what matters, is winning football games and playing well. You can act however you want as long as you're winning football games. It's when you stop winning football games that all of a sudden the other things, the eccentric things that you do are criticized more heavily, right? And that's just football.
And let's be honest, I've been a Jaxson Dart supporter since USC. Since USC, I wanted him there when they tried to bring Caleb to replace. Remember, it was Caleb that replaced Dart. It was Caleb. Yeah. It was a lot of weird narratives out there.
He started like the second half of the season, right?
Yeah, it was Caleb. Dart started the second half of his season there, but then it was Caleb Williams once he transferred from Oklahoma to USC that forced Jaxson Dart to transfer to Ole Miss to play with Lane Kiffin, who was also at USC during a point in time. So I'm a big Jaxson Dart fan. I think that this team is so much better with him. I told you all on Friday, the schedule fears that people had for the Giants, it's different now. This is not the same schedule that people looked at coming into the season, right? The Giants should have won this game. The Giants should have won this game, and a big part of the reason why they should have won is their young quarterback, because he is a playmaker. All I'm saying is I want to pause on the coronation of him being the best quarterback in the NFL a few games into his career. Love him. Big-time fan of his game, and I think this offense is so much better with him, and he's throwing the ball to Daniel Bellinger and Theo Johnson, man. Like, Wandale Robinson is his number one target. They need to get some more talent around him. Neighbors, maybe another pass catcher. Doesn't have to be of Neighbors' quality, but get you a good number 2. Get you another pick. Get you a Pickens. Get you a T. Higgins. Get you a Michael Pittman. That second round, nice prime area to find you another playmaker. He's good. He's talented. Some areas for growth. I think he's on the right track. And this is why, Jay, on this show, when everybody in the chat didn't want to see him play, just wait for that. Hey, man, he needs to play. Get him on the field and play him. And I think it's going to yield positive return for the Giants down the line.
Okay, but I have a question now, Ray. Brian's asking it, and you know what the question is. Is Daboll safe? We said it before. He's got some big victories. He's got the quarterback looking good. The offense is looking better under Jaxson Dart. But a loss like this is embarrassing. So where are you at on Daboll and his job security? He's not at the top of the hot seat list.
I don't think he's at the top of the hot seat list. I don't think so.
And we'll get there because there's a couple candidates for sure. But where do you think he's at in terms of his job security going forward? 'Cause I think we all, after seeing performances like this, the way we've seen Dart look so far, I think we want Daboll to stay in New York. But how do you feel about his prospects of actually staying there with the performance?
Let's see how he finishes it out. I mean, after they beat Philly, everybody said he was safe. Now they go into Denver, 7.5-point road dogs. They lose by 1, spectacular fashion. And now people want him gone. I want to see this quarterback paired up with the people that are around him right now, that picked him, that have a plan to utilize his skill set. I'm not in favor of the new coach coming in to the guy that he didn't draft and they have to work with it. I'm not in favor of that. So if you're asking me, I've got no stake in this fight. I'm not a Giants fan. I don't have any fandom tied to it, but I would personally like to see the guy that picked him, that designed the offense and the game plan for him. I'd like to see him stay with Jaxson Dart. That's just my personal opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Other side of the ball, RJ Harvey, man.
Only the second most dead rookie running back.
Scored a touchdown. 5 touches, 1 touchdown, no yards.
Woof.
I mean, 5 touches, 2 yards, and a touchdown. That's what he got.
Yeah. It is what it is, man.
It is.
It ain't going to change.
It is what it is, Jay Rich. What a bust at cost. But we'll see how it plays out for Denver moving forward, Jay. All right, one more game, and then we'll go to break. Where do you want to touch on? What do you want to touch on that we can roll through kind of quickly? Let's go KC Las Vegas.
Okay.
Let's go KC Las Vegas, Jay Rich. Let's go KC Las Vegas. This was a thorough ass kicking. This was a thorough. And when I just read these the stat line, the Raiders with Kenny Pickett playing, they completed a grand total of 12 passes. So you had 12 opportunities in the receiving game. With Kenny Pickett and Geno Smith, each collectively absorbing 3 rush attempts, the Raiders had 8. 8 carries. Think about this. The whole game. 8 carries for running backs. 8. 12 receptions by receivers. 12. Game over.
I mean, did you see how many first downs they had?
Game over. Pete, I got the USC helmet back here. Pete's got to go. Pete's got to go.
Terrible job.
Pete's got to go. They got it. One and done the whole situation. Pete's got to go. Chip's got to go. They need to find a new quarterback. Pete's got to go. Game has passed them by. Oldest head coach in the NFL. Game has passed them by. Pete's got to go. All right? Now, I've got no further takeaway from the Raiders. Pete's got to go. Let's talk about Kansas City.
Oh, you don't want to talk about what you do with your Genti now? With his 6 for 21? Huh?
Pete's got they carried the ball. They touched the ball 8 times, man. Running backs touched the ball 8 times. Dylan Lobby got a couple of them. There's nothing to take away. It wasn't even belt to ass, man. It wasn't even belt to ass. They didn't show up. I don't have anything. They didn't show up.
0 for 7 on third down.
When
3
they
first
put
downs total the whole game.
When Kansas City put the goddamn backups in for the whole fourth quarter like it's preseason, they're kneeling the ball, Jay Rich, with 5 minutes left in the game. There was 5 minutes left on the clock. Set, hut, kneel.
Just
4 minutes left. Set, hut, kneel, Jay Rich. You would have thought it was 2020 as much as the Chiefs was out there kneeling. Everybody kneeling on the field. We just rewound the clock back. 2020, take a knee. That's all they were doing. That is how bad of a game this was. Patrick Mahomes should be the front runner for NFL MVP. In my opinion, he should be the front runner for NFL MVP, in my opinion. Rashee Rice, first game back, 2 tutties. 2 touchdowns. Can't ask for anything more, Jay Rich. Can't ask for anything more. Xavier Worthy, he was out there. Hollywood scored. Kelsey wide open. This was probably the first game of the season where Patrick Mahomes wasn't the first or second leading rusher on the team. He was third. Thirdly, Pretty disappointed. Pretty damn disappointed. How could he not? Why did Mahomes not lead the team in rushing again? This is just, the offense is at full strength. And this is with Rashee Rice. Hey, man, I'm glad he got in the end zone. Rashee Rice was out there running in mud, Jay Rich. He's got to get them legs to get. He's got to get the wind up.
Get there.
He's going to get there, right? 10 targets out the gate. You got to love it. 7 for 42. He tried to hit the corner on one of them, or pick up a first down on one. He couldn't quite make it there. He'll get there, though. I'm not worried about I text Rashee after the game. I said, good shit. Good shit, 4. You'll get there. He's like, appreciate you, Ray. What do you want to say? What else is there to take away from this game?
Okay, so how do you feel about Worthy? Is he dead to you now?
No.
4 targets?
Not dead. Wasn't a great game, but it was Rashee Rice. None of the receivers really did anything. Thornton got down the field deep. This feels like it's going to be
it'll be Rashee Rice, it'll be Kelsey. That's what it'll probably be. Maybe some Worthy, but Worthy is he a wide receiver 3 even? He'll be very boom bust, I think, if this trend continues. Right? But we'll see. The biggest thing for KC is they got the running game going. Pacheco scored, was fine. Brashard Smith obviously got a ton of carries late in the game. Caught some passes, though. Do you think he's an option for people now? Even though,
who's that?
Are you attributing Brashard Smith? Are you attributing it to garbage time?
If you didn't watch Brashard's, listen, man, that wasn't in the natural flow of the game. He got a lot of opportunity in the fourth quarter. It was good to see him on the field. I think he provides a good element for their in it, but to say he's like a fantasy option right now, no.
Yeah.
No.
And I agree. No. It's Mahomes, it's Rice, it's Kelsey, and Worthy. Again, he's not a starter anymore, but definitely flex viable in certain matchups for sure.
Yeah. There's nothing. This was an embarrassing performance from the Las Vegas Raiders, Jay. All right, we got to go to break. Come back. A lot more narratives, a lot more stuff to talk about. The chat they wanted one more kneel out of old GQ. They wanted one more kneel. The clock is still running. The Chiefs are still kneeling right now. So hit the thumbs up button, like the stream. We got to talk some Daniel Jones and Jay Rich. We may have to take him to church after the break. We may have to take him. Well, Justin Fields took him to church, but we will discuss after the break. Welcome back to the show. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, every Wednesday, every single Friday. We have a good time every time with the good people on the show. If you're new to the channel, this is what we love to do. Entertain, talking ball, real football, fantasy football, all kinds of sports. Hit that thumbs up button, like the content, subscribe to the channel. And in case you can't make it live, this show is posted on the podcast feed, Wake Up with Ray and Jay, every single time we do a show. So if you can't make it live, subscribe to the pod feed. You can catch that after the fact. Check out all the fantasy football content on DDFFB. And I got a new mock draft dropping today. It's time, Jay Rich. We got to discuss this 2026 class, some of the quarterback play here in the NFL, and we've got to talk about a team that's probably picking number 1 overall and going to have a new quarterback, the New York Jets, Jay. So let's do it, Jay. Let's pull it up. Let's talk about the Jets, Jay Rich, because...
Oh, buddy.
Whoo, I told you.
What a game we had.
I told you that the Panthers would win. I said the Panthers are going to walk into the Jets and win. And I asked the question, after they do that, does Aaron Glenn still have a job? I'm searching the timeline looks like Aaron Glenn is still employed by the Jets. No moves made by Jets management, but they did make a move, Jay Rich. They benched Justin Fields. Talk about the benching of your boy, Justin Fields. You've been called the biggest Fields hater in the world. Do you feel vindicated at all? Jay Rich, do you feel vindicated to some degree right now about what's happening in New York?
To be honest, not really. I knew he sucked. You don't got to tell me that he sucked. I think everyone else hopefully has opened their eyes and seen that Justin Fields is not a good at quarterback. He's just not. And you can draft him for fantasy purposes, and you can hope, and you can pray, and you can wish upon 1,000 stars that he can be a good quarterback because, at Ohio State, he was great. Oh, that chemistry, Ray, with Garrett Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. It's going to play itself on the field in New York. Not this season. Not next season. Not ever. It's just not happening. I understand where people are at with Fields, but he's awful. And he is not going to be a good quarterback anytime soon. He's always been a bad quarterback. So let's just be real about the situation. We've already had reports that people within the locker room believe that Tyrod should be the starter because they know Fields isn't any good. Mike Tomlin got rid of Fields and said, hey, we'll take your Aaron Rodgers. How about that? And it's honestly, when you just think about it from that perspective alone, it's one of the most embarrassing moves the Jets have ever made. And they make a lot of them. But to kick Aaron Rodgers out of the door, pick up Justin Fields, and to see Aaron Rodgers go to Pittsburgh and play significantly better than the quarterback that you just paid 2 years, $40 million.
Didn't they just lose? Didn't they just lose to Cincinnati?
They did lose Cincinnati.
Didn't they just lose to the Bengals?
But they put up points, so it ain't as much on the offense. Aaron did throw 2 picks, but he's old. It's okay. We'll forgive him. But guess what? Aaron Rodgers isn't going to do. He ain't going to go 6 for 12 for 46 yards and get benched in a football game. That's not happening. But that's exactly what happened to Fields. He takes bad sacks. He can't throw to anybody. Oh, but he has no weapons, right? What is he, Lamar Jackson? We got to get Justin Fields some weapons so he can play good quarterback play? It's just bad, man. This team sucks. And while, yes, I did think there was potential for a win here because the Panthers aren't that good. They only put up 13 points anyways. This team looks like a team that is not going to win a football game for the rest of the year. There's no hope for this team, especially with Garrett Wilson injured.
They got the Bengals.
We can go down the schedule right now.
Bengals,
Browns. Can they beat the Browns?
Pats,
Hell no.
Raiders.
Ravens? No. Falcons?
Ravens.
Hell no. Dolphins? Maybe.
That's a winnable game. That's a winnable game.
Can they beat the Saints on the road? I don't think so. Not the way Spencer Rattler's
They're
playing.
winnable games. Dude, let's remember that the Jets were coming off of a 9-completion game against the Broncos that they still almost won. They still almost won the game versus the Broncos, completing 9 passes, and Justin Fields took 9 sacks. It was a little better this week. He completed 6 passes and took 3 sacks. So it was like a 50% sack rate. You know what I mean? From completions to sacks. But they had enough. And Tyrod Taylor honestly wasn't that much better. He got his ass sacked 3 times, launched 2 interceptions, completed 10 passes. Something that you've continued to talk about is how prepared NFL teams are with backup quarterbacks. Having somebody that can step in and be competent to keep this thing afloat. You tell me the Jets defense holds opposing offenses to 13 points, they should win a game.
They should have a chance to win.
They should have a chance to win, right? What did Denver score last week? Didn't Denver score 13?
13-11. Aaron Glenn's maybe doing his job, Ray. We give Aaron Glenn a lot of flack, but another great defensive performance. But the offense, it just looks so bad. And this takes me back, honestly, Ray, to when Tua got injured last season and Mike McDaniel was trying to run Tua's offense with a backup quarterback. And they looked like one of the worst teams in the league. They lost to Tennessee. It's just bad. But even without Fields, this team should still be better than they look. And with Fields, they should definitely be better than how they look right now. But I think we can transition to Carolina because Bryce Young was fine. He did throw 1 touchdown. But what are your thoughts on Xavier Legette leading the team in receptions, in yards, and scoring the only touchdown with 11 targets, drastically outdoing Tedero McMillan? Do you think it's an attribution to Sauce Gardner being more on McMillan, or do you think that Legette kind of did break out in this game and can do so?
I don't think there's any Legette breakout at all. I think he had a good game. How's Xavier Legette been in the other 20 games that he's played? Awful. Sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then, right, Jay Rich? I think it was, I'm not buying into any Legette. The big takeaway for me was the running game. They just ran the ball, 36 rush attempts to 32 pass attempts, right? Rico Dowdle versus Chuba Hubbard. Rico led the way in carries and rushing yards. Chuba Hubbard looked good on the receiving play that he got, 24 receiving yards. Here's the issue with Carolina. Bryce was, you say he was fine in this one.
He was fine for Bryce Young.
He's like, here the Panthers are 4-3. The Panthers are, how many games did they win last year? How many games did they win last year?
Probably 4, honestly.
They're 4-3 right now. I just don't, here's my big takeaway. I know there's going to be a lot of Facebook hype, Twitter hype for Jalen Coker and all of it. Like, y'all, this isn't the type of offense where you want to be buying in to 4 and 5 options. You don't want both running backs and Tetero and McMillan, and you got this tight end that you think is a sleeper, and Jalen. There's not enough. Like, there's not enough. There's not enough. Like, this fascination with jamming Jalen Coker, and it doesn't make football sense. And he's probably a decent player. But I don't want to be starting anybody on Carolina really outside of the 2 running backs and McMillan on a week-to-week basis, Jay. I don't want to start Legette. I don't want to start no goddamn Coker. I want to start no Tommy Tremble or JT Sanders. It's McMillan, it's Hubbard, and it's Dowdle. That's it. That's all I want to do, play around with Carolina moving forward. Just not enough offensive juice to start multiple passing options in this offense. Can't do it, man. Cannot do it. Can't do it, Jay Rich.
Where are you at with Hubbard, though? He is coming off injury.
Coming off an injury, and he touched the ball 16
relative
times.
To Dowdle. Coming
off an injury, and he touched the ball 16 times. I'm buying into the opportunity. I'm not going to play the who's talent, who I think deserves to get the ball. You tell me Chuba Hubbard's going to touch the ball 15-plus times a game, and I'm just going to start him. Like, I want that guy. I want that opportunity. I would start both. If I have Hubbard or Dowdle, they'd be in my starting lineup every week.
I think you can definitely start Dowdle because he looks good. Like, he looks really good.
Yeah, he looks great.
Right?
He looks great.
So, at what point can he force the team's hand? I don't know, but there's not much more that he can do.
I don't think they're going to force their hand.
One of the best running backs in football when he was the starter, and as the backup, he still looks better than the starter. So it's just, I don't know, man. Maybe it's when they need to score points or they're not playing the Jets that forces their hand a little bit more, but we'll see kind of going forward. The Carolina Panthers, though, right? You talked about it, 4 wins, only 5 last season. So, looking good.
Jay Rich.
Who's not looking good?
Jay Rich. Dolphins, Browns.
How did the Dolphins win a football game? Who did they beat?
Who did they beat?
They beat the Jets.
They beat the Jets?
I was like, this team just lost 31-6 to the Cleveland Browns. And we talked about it on Bleacher Report. Neither one of us thought that Miami Dolphins had any chance to win this game. Dylan Gabriel, 13 for 18 for 116 yards. Did nothing out there. Did his job. Quinshon Judkins, 25 carries, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns with a 46-yard bomb. Harold Fannin, 4 receptions for 36 yards, continues to lead the Browns in receiving. Where are you at on Cleveland, and how do you feel about their assets going forward?
Gabriel's not very good. I don't think Gabriel's very good. Judkins.
That's it, right?
Judkins. You can't... I like Harold Fannin, Jay Rich. I like Jerry. Personally, I like these guys. Behind Dylan Gabriel's weak arm, there's not a lot there. There's not a lot there. They won this game 31-6, not off the strength of this offense being this juggernaut, high-powered offense. They got the ball in scoring opportunity. You give the team 3 extra chances, right? 3 extra possessions off of turnovers.
Yep.
The beneficiary is Quinshon, he's a hammer. 25 rush attempts, Jay Rich. 84 yards, 3.4 a carry, not good. But when you score not 1, not 2, but 3 rushing touchdowns, who gives a shit?
Yep.
Right? This Dolphins
25
defense,
of 29 RB carries.
They tried their hardest to corral the team. They gave up below their average. They've been allowing close to 170 rushing yards a game. They only gave up 100 in this one. They did. Miami's defense did as good of it. If you told me Miami would hold them to 100 collective yards rushing, 100 collective passing yards, I say Miami would have had a chance, Jay Rich. They got their shit kicked in 31-6. Why? Why? Let's move off from if you told me pregame they would have 100 passing yards and 100 rushing yards, I say Miami had a good chance to win that ball game. Good chance to win that ball game. But Miami barely had 100 passing yards with 2 quarterbacks. They didn't hit 100 rushing yards with Achane and Ollie Gordon, and Tua threw the ball to the other team 3 times. QBR of 3.4.
Tua sucks, man. He's awful. Like, if you're the Dolphins, McDaniel's got to go. Tua's got to go. And then at some point, you got to figure out what to do with Achane. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill probably won't be back with the team. I mean, chances are he's not going to play for them.
Ever since he got them braids, man, I told y'all in the preseason, I didn't like the hairstyle from Tua, Jay. I didn't like it.
Feeling it.
He's been awful since he got his hair done that way. There's no statistical data on this. I told you I didn't like it at the time, and he's been stank ever since he went to that hairstyle, Jay Rich. I said it. Did I not call it?
You did. But I think the sad part for us is that this is worse than we expected. This is a team that we didn't think would be very good, but at least, they have some players that can deliver for fantasy purposes, and they have draftable assets. At this point, if you're losing this badly to the Browns, and it's not because the Browns are terrible. Offensively, they're terrible, but defensively, they are very strong. And they made Tua look like a bottom 10 quarterback in the NFL, right? Like, they've made a lot of quarterbacks look bad this year. Jordan Love didn't look very good against them either. But this just simply can't happen. Like, it cannot happen and be this bad. Tua was so bad in this game that, like, you just can't help but be like, what is this team going to do? The only option they have is to fire their head coach. Because they can't fire Tua. If they could kick him out of the building and didn't have to pay him $100 million, probably, is what his buyout would be. He's Jimbo Fisher right now. Just waiting on that day when that buyout becomes more manageable and they can kick him out. But man, if you're a Dolphins fan, there is no hope here.
My thing is, man, if you want to be the leader and talk as much as he does, that's fine. But go back it up.
He talks a lot.
Go back it up with your play on the field. Go back it up and ball out. Put the ball on your receivers. Hand it off to Jalen Waddle. Get your young playmakers involved. And then talk all the shit that you want to talk. Go to the podium and talk about how it's everybody else's fault. They're not. Go do your job. Go do your job. Dude, he's throwing. Remember we were talking about there's a cover 3. He's throwing against some basic coverages, Jay Rich. Just throwing it away. It looks like they have mailed it in. The head coach looks like he's mailed it in. The quarterback, of all the talk, I'm just asking the question, and chat, help me out, Jay, because I may be misremembering. We've seen Tua talk a lot, right? About who's doing what's not happening, have we seen anybody from Miami speak up in support of the quarterback? Have I missed it? Maybe I missed it. So I don't know.
We've missed it, but I don't think we've seen any support.
Have we seen anybody speak up to say that's our quarterback and he's right? We got to do better. We got to go play better. Have we seen any of that?
No, but this is a team that has no leadership. Right? Like, this team doesn't have any leadership. Tyreek Hill let's be real. If Tyreek Hill is your best leader, you got a problem. Mike McDaniel's not a leader. We know that. Tua's not a leader. We've known that since his time in college, honestly. We've always kind of known that about Tua. Jalen Waddle, same story. Defensively, Bradley Chubb's going to get traded in the next couple days anyways. He's already on the way out. Minka Fitzpatrick just got to the team this offseason. He's not really able to corral the team in the way that he once could. This team has no leadership. Jalen Ramsey gone. Javon Holland gone. Like, those were the leaders of the team. Those are leaders, especially the defense. Those guys are gone, man. There's no one that's going to bat for Tua right now, at least. But this is just how bad this team looks. And it's, even if you were a leader of the team, why would you bother? Do you want Tua to be your quarterback? Do you think you have any shot of Tua?
We got one here.
just don't.
A-Chan spoke up for Tua. There we go. A-Chan spoke up for him. It's just bad. Darren Waller hurt now. Pec muscle. It's just falling off the. I wouldn't be shocked if McDaniel is gone before we get off of the stream. I thought he'd be gone. I thought this would be.
I thought he'd be gone already.
Part of the show that he's done, right? That he's gone. I don't know if it gets any better. They've paid him a lot of money. What can they realistically do with him? I don't know. Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson or Dante Moore, get ready to learn Miami because they're probably going to be looking for another quarterback, Jay. They're probably going to be looking for another QB.
Do you want to know what Tua's dead cap is?
Probably a lot of money.
$137 million. So remember when you said just last show, you want to give Bryce Young that Tua contract? $137 million.
Yeah.
And
Rough.
even into next season, it's $99 million. They'd have to pay him $100 million to get rid of him.
Well, let's lift the spirits up, man. Let's lift the spirits of the show back up because we had 420 yards of offense passing on one side, 288 passing yards on the other side, a 38-24 victory for the 6-1 Indianapolis Colts, Jay Rich. My goodness. Shane Steichen's got his guy. Daniel Jones.
He's got
Jonathan Taylor. Another 3-pack. Another 3-piece for Jonathan Taylor. Alec Pierce. Antoine Pierce. Antoine is back. Antoine led the way with 98 receiving yards. Tyler Warren. Is Tyler Warren the best tight end in football? Is this the best tight end in the NFL right now? Tyler Warren, 4 for 69, 1 touchdown, playing incredible this year. Michael Pittman Jr. got in the end zone. Yep. Other side of the ball, Justin Herbert. I mean, he was running around for his life back there, Jay Rich. 420 passing yards, though. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked 3 times. Led the team in rushing. The Kamani Vidal hype died. Nothing in this one. Haskins, nothing. Keenan Allen, 14 targets. Ladd, 15 targets. QJ scores a touchdown, only 2 catches. And the rookie tight end, Aronde Gadson, goes nuts. 7 for 164 and 1. Where do we go? What do we start with? Start with the QBs, Jay Rich. Herbert versus Jones.
It's hard to not say Jones, man. It's hard to not say Jones. I mean, I love Herbert, and I love 55 passing attempts from him because he still completed 37. He still threw for 400 yards, still threw for 3 touchdowns. Like, that's all good. No rushing game, no offensive line. They were down to their 7th tackle in this game. They can't defend the quarterback. They can't protect hardly at all. But I think the story has to be Gadson. You asked me last week if I'd start him. I'd say, I don't know, because everyone's going to be back, so how does he factor in? This dude's a factor. Like, he's going to be a factor, clearly. And who's it at the expense of? I think the problem is that we don't know. We don't know who he's taking targets from, but he's going to be a factor.
This week it was Quinshon Judkins.
A pretty big one.
This week it was QJ.
This week it was QJ. QJ coming back off injury, right? So being worked back into the offense. Ladd obviously got a ton of targets. Keenan got a ton of targets. But, I mean, we'll see. This is a tough offense to peg right now. There's 4 guys that are going to get targets. And I'm pretty confident saying Gat's going to get targets. We know Allen will. We know McConkey probably will. We know Johnston will. And they can't run the football at all. So, going forward, you start them all. And you live with the results. Because you don't want to bench Gadson when he does something like this again.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about this on Friday. And if you go back and watch the Trinity video that I put out on Wednesday, I went to the Chargers specifically. I'm on vacation. I'm on the patio, Jay Rich. And I was like, this is one I would be buying into a little bit early. I got on the show with Matt Harmon last week on Tuesday. And that was on our Data Jump show. One of the segments that I brought to the table was Aronde Gadson. Like, this usage. And what was key was the fact that all the tight ends were active. Conklin, Disley, and Gadsden. And last week, he had 39 routes to 8 routes for the other 2 combined. This week, Disley was out there. He got target, dropped the goddamn ball. Like, this is why you watch the stuff that I'm not here to tell you I know definitively who is the better NFL talent. But one thing that I do trust a little more than anything is what the team tells me. And the usage pattern was pretty clear. Like, this is somebody that I don't believe they're going to bottle this back up. He's a mismatch problem. For those of you who don't know, he played wide receiver at Syracuse. When he got there, he's goddamn wide out. He was a wide receiver, but not quite twitchy enough to line up on the outside consistently. Like, this is a Darren Waller level clone athlete.
Yeah.
Playing tight end, tethered to Justin Herbert on a team that really can't run the ball right now. Yeah, too late now. Now he's going to cost you an arm and a leg. You could have bought in last week. Oh, well, QJ wasn't there. People asking why Keenan Allen keeps getting targeted. Because he's good. That's why. You know why Keenan Allen keeps getting targeted? Because he's good. He's probably their most consistent, their most reliable passing option.
For sure.
That's why he keeps getting targets. So, yeah, I hope you got some Gadsden. Shout out to our girl, Jo. She's been all over Gadsden. She talked about him coming into the season, that she loved him as a sleeper tight end. Coming to fruition now in a good offense. I trust the usage is there, man. This dude's a locked and loaded starting tight end rest of the way. Do I expect 160 damn yards every week? No. I don't think he's getting 160 yards every week. But what did I just talk about a few minutes? I want pieces of good offenses, Jay Rich. I still want QJ. I want Ladd. I want Keenan. I want Gadsden. Give me those four, man.
So who do you want going forward? Aronde Gadson or Tyler Warren?
Tyler Warren.
For this season?
Tyler Warren. Yes.
Okay.
Tyler Warren. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's a good offense. They're going to throw the ball a lot. They have no rushing attack. The Colts? Pretty simple for me. Would you start Pittman going forward? Pittman's been all right.
I would start
Tyler
Pittman.
Warren,
I would start
good.
Warren. And
Pierce is a maybe.
And if Josh Downs is out, which he was out of this matchup, I do think Antoine Pierce has a little more upside. He's their big play downfield threat. So if you needed, he got 10 targets, Jay Rich.
I know,
10
crazy.
Targets.
Crazy.
Pretty
He's
damn
usually
good.
not that guy, but this week he was.
He was. He was that guy this week, Jay Rich. Your boys, the New England Patriots, Jay. Are we going to play the Taps song for TreVeyon Henderson? Or is he in just as bad a boat as RJ Harvey, as Caleb Johnson, as Basil Tootin? Is he in that mold right now? They didn't use him again. They don't utilize TreVeyon Henderson, man. Is Ramondre, Terrell Jennings. And then Vrabel comes out after the game. I love what we saw from Jennings. We need to see a little more of him. What? Record scratch. What? This is your team. You got the jersey. You got the Hendo jersey. Talk about him.
Yet.
Talk about him.
It's funny because, we talked about it on the show on Friday. You asked me, who would I start? I said, Booty. Start that Booty. Big touchdown for Booty. Diggs was all right. But the other thing that I told you, I said, I think that Vrabel's crazy enough to establish it with Ramondre. And that's exactly what he did. 18 carries, 88 yards, got a touchdown. Best performance rushing from Ramondre all season long. Drake May broke Tom Brady's record for completion percentage in a game. 21 for 23, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did take 4 sacks. Offensive line was not the best in this game. But yeah, Henderson, he's as 6 feet under as any rookie running back in the draft class. Tootin not playing well, we can't be that surprised. He wasn't a second-round pick. He's a fourth-round pick. Jarquez Hunter not playing. There's 2 capable running backs ahead of him. Caleb Johnson not playing. Well, we know why he's not playing. TreVeyon Henderson not playing is very surprising. Very surprising. There just has to be something going on that we don't know. And maybe there's not, and maybe he's just no good. And I will openly accept that if that's the reality. But it is truly puzzling to see a team draft a player in the second round as high as they did. Because they sniped Ben Johnson for this running back. They had the pick before Chicago when everyone knew they were going to try and target TreVeyon Henderson with that pick. And they took him instead, and he is doing absolutely nothing for this team. Absolutely nothing for this team. And it's just like, at some point, you have to utilize this player or just tell us what the issue is. Because there just has to be a problem here. It just doesn't make any sense. But the problem remains, and we talk about this every week with multiple teams, as long as you keep winning, no one's going to ask any questions. And this Patriots team is 5-2. They could easily win this division with how bad the Bills look. And Ray, their schedule, pretty easy. They play Cleveland this week. They can win another game pretty easily. Like, it's truly puzzling what's going on.
I don't know if that's an easy win, but...
Yeah, it should be an easy win. They have no offense.
What is it? Like, what, in your opinion... I'm just asking this question because I know a lot of times people are going to say, give them time to figure it out. I get that at edge rusher. I understand it with cornerback. Running back seems like, in my opinion, that's the most translatable position, right? Get ball, run ball. And I'm not saying that he should be smashing and a top 10 NFL running back today. But why haven't we even seen flashes? They don't even try to get him involved. You know, you go back to Derrick Henry. It took him 3 years before he got a real opportunity to be the guy. But always, even with DeMarco Murray back there, you saw flashes like, man, if they get Derrick Henry the ball. Dion Lewis, there was a season where Dion Lewis was getting more work than Derrick Henry, but everybody saw, like, man, give Derrick Henry out of Alabama the rock, and he's probably going to be pretty good. I can't even say that we've seen that from Henderson. I can't say, man, Jay, why do they have this Ferrari on ice when every time he touches the ball, it'd be one thing if he was getting 5 or 6 touches and getting 40 yards, 60 yards, 20-yard run, 50-yard, just some big plays. He's not even doing that. What is it?
I don't know what it is. I mean, ever since that Miami game, he's really struggled. And I think it's more confusing because you just kind of go through his game log, right? 5 carries, 3 carries, 11 carries against Pittsburgh, 7, and that obviously Ramondre fumbled in that game. Then you got the Carolina game, 7 carries, 6 carries against Buffalo when, again, there was some struggles there. 9 carries against New Orleans. Then 2 carries in this game against Tennessee. And I think the other scary part, it's the first game he's had all season with no targets. First game he's had all season with not a single target. And while, yes, you can say he's not the best running back, he's struggled to run the football, he is a good receiver. Like, I just don't know how you could look at his game, college or the NFL, and say he can't be a quality receiving back and an asset to a football team. And they refuse to utilize him even in that way. And Vrabel's talked about his pass pro, and there's pass pro concerns, but it's just like, if you're not even going to utilize him at all in what he's actually good at in the receiving game, why is he even active on game day? Because the way he's trending right now, there's no reason for him to be active at all. There's just not. Is he on the kick return team? I didn't really watch the game too closely to where I was watching the kick returns, but I don't know if he got any kick returns this game, but maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
I just want to. I'm gonna go look to see. Is he doing that? No. It was Chisholm.
Because Chisholm was active in the game.
Chisholm.
Yeah.
So he's not even doing that.
Contributing on offense.
Receivers, Stephon Diggs got it going. 7 for 69 for Diggs. 7 targets, led the way. Hunter Henry, 5. Well, they just need to throw Booty the ball more. Get that grab by Quinshon Booty. Great throw by Drake May.
You saw what Tez Johnson did last week?
He won up Tez. That was nice. Yeah. That was very nice. They need to get Booty involved more offensively. Let's talk about the quarterback that was discussed around the world last week. Cam Ward, our very own Scott Connor, got his comments lit up by talking about that Cam Ward last week. Not good. Millions of impressions from that one. And then he kind of came out and silenced the critics early and then turned back into Cam Ward late.
Yep. I mean, it was a great play call on that shot play to DK.
It was a great play call.
Cam Ward executed?
What are your honest thoughts? Because 5 more sacks. He didn't play that good, man.
No.
I guess it was better. Fumbling the ball, interceptions, sacks, this nonchalant pocket movement. The team is not good.
This season, right?
The team is not good. I guess we'll give him a mulligan this year. We'll give him a mulligan in 2025. What are your honest thoughts, Jay Rich? I need your Cam Ward opinion right here on the people want this.
It's hard to back him. It really is. Right? He's 33rd in the NFL in QBR. How many teams are in the NFL again?
32.
So he is worse than someone's backup quarterback right now in terms of QBR. He's taken 30 sacks. Where's the hate for Cam Ward? Caleb Williams takes 30 sacks in 7 games. He's not that good. They're both number 1 overall picks.
The team is worse.
Went to bad teams.
The team in Tennessee is worse than Chicago.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and I'm not even. Yes, it is.
I don't think.
Jay Rich.
I don't think it's any worse.
100%. The 2025 Tennessee Titans is 100% a worse roster than the 2024 Chicago Bears. 100%. 100%.
You can say that only because they had DJ Moore, right? And they had Rome Odunze and they drafted him.
Yeah.
But how does that impact his ability to not take sacks and throw terrible interceptions? Because they invested in the offensive line, which they didn't do for Caleb. Right? It wasn't until this season they invested in the offensive line. They made investments in the offensive line because it was already bad. And they drafted J.C. Latham. They drafted Peter Skoronski all before Cam Ward got there. And they're still having issues. It's not just the fact that he sucks because he's not good. But like what happened in Chicago and what's happening in Tennessee, I just don't see why they are so different to people. They have wide receivers, but if you don't have time to get receivers the ball, it doesn't matter. We see that all the time in the NFL. So for me, it's like there's so much discussion about why Caleb was so bad. And it's like, if you think that Cam Ward's going to turn it around in the way that Caleb turned it around, I just don't know what you're watching. Because
Kev
whether Caleb is good or bad,
Kev is saying, how do you explain the sacks with the good O-line in Tennessee? Like he's asking, how do you explain the sacks?
People thought this offensive line was going to be good. And he's going to take as many sacks as Caleb if he doesn't improve. He's on pace right now, ready to outdo the Denver Broncos in sacks. How is that possible? They have one of the best defensive lines in football and one of the best defensive lines from sack production currently. And Cam Ward still may take more sacks than they get this season.
Listen, Cam Ward's got his fair share of issues. Holding the ball too long, gunslinger. He's got his own fair share of issues. I'm just going to respectfully disagree, vehemently disagree with this roster being better than what Caleb Williams had in Chicago even last year. Like you're not going to sell me on that. This roster is pretty bad. He's got his own problems. He brings his own set of issues to the table that I don't think are easy corrections. I'm just telling you, Jay, the quarterback's inability to avoid sacks, it's very terrifying for me moving forward. Prospect-wise, NFL-wise, I think he's got his own share of issues, but I do not believe that this roster that he currently has right now is better than Chicago's offensive roster last year. I'm not buying that, man.
Okay.
Not buying
and that's fine. But I think it's just you look at the shiny toys, you look at those big names,
but they're not.
And you say,
but they're not shiny toys. They matter. Like who?
I understand.
Not having Tyler Lockett and Van Jefferson on the outside as your primaries and Elick Eomano. I know he's a fun rookie. Like not having those guys. That's not a shiny toy. That matters. Having somebody that can just go get it. That matters. That matters, man.
For sure, but it all matters, though. And I think the problem, at least for me, when I watch Cam Ward, and I think and it sounds crazy, but like you compare him to a quarterback like Dylan Gabriel. And Dylan Gabriel is going to make mistakes, but he understands how to play the quarterback position in the ways that Cam Ward continues to make the same mistakes over and over and over. And so you have to ask yourself, how long is it going to take Cam Ward to play with the team that he has currently constructed, right? Like, you can't play like you're at Miami. You don't have that team. And if you continue to play that way, it's only going to cause you more issues. So that's why I have problems with Ward, is that it's not that he's playing so poorly that he can't turn it around, because we've seen this happen plenty of times where quarterbacks draft number 1 overall for a reason, team's awful, fire their head coach, who you all know I hated and didn't think was any good. But look at what's happening with Spencer Rattler right now in New Orleans. Everyone thought they were the worst team in the NFL. and he actually looks pretty good.
It's a good segue into Caleb Williams, who was awful yesterday. Just, he wasn't good. But it kind of didn't matter because the Bears may have found something with this Thunder-Lightning combination of DeAndre Swift and rookie running back out of the 7th round, Kyle Monangai. 13 carries, 81 yards, and a tutty for Monangai. DeAndre Swift, 124 and 1 for him as well. Both of these backs caught the ball out of the backfield. Not a lot, but, Caleb Williams only completed 15 passes on the day. So he was not very good. But this rushing attack for Chicago, this Monangai thing is real. And in redraft, if he's on waivers, you better make sure he's claimed this week. The Saints can't run the ball worth a damn. They can't do anything behind the line. Spencer Rattler's running around for his life. But Olave in this passing attack, and Jay Rich, trust the Trinity. I talked about it on Wednesday. I would be buying into Chris Olave's usage. I think you flat out asked me, like, do you want the usage in New Orleans or go to a high? Olave is really good. And it paid off. He's getting fed the ball. Even Shaheed still had 9 targets. Like, it's those top 3 guys. It's Shaheed, it's Johnson, it's Chris Olave. So Rattler didn't play great, but he also didn't. 3 picks.
Some bad picks.
3 picks.
Then
one of them wasn't his fault, but 3 picks is not good. 4 sacks isn't good, but yet you watch him and he's like, man, he gives his team the best chance to win.
For sure. It ain't Chuck time yet.
No.
I think the biggest problem is, like, Alvin Kamara.
Talk about your Saints.
Man. They're bad. The Saints are bad, man. We all knew they were going to be bad coming in. But Spencer Rattler he's doing better than we all expected. And I think, you look to Tennessee, you look to some of these bad situations in the NFL, and you say, man, like, look, they're not a good team, but Kellen Moore is doing a fine job. Like, I think to some extent he's maximizing what he has. I wish he was able to do a bit more with Kamara because we know that Kamara is a great talent. But maybe it's just like his time is up and he can't do it anymore at the level that we expected. But Chris Olave is doing his job. Juwan Johnson's getting involved with Rashid Shaheed. Like, it's a great passing attack. It is. It's been a good passing attack for a few weeks now. It's just whether or not Spencer Rattler ultimately gives the game away, which he did against Chicago. But yeah, you talked about it. Caleb didn't play very well. The rushing attack was really strong. And I'm curious how Ben Johnson continues to develop that because in a lot of ways, that's what we always saw from Ben Johnson in Detroit when he was at his best. He had a great rushing attack and it opened up everything for the pass catchers. But I do think that Kellen Moore's doing a good job right now. And I'm curious to see how it evolves.
I do too.
Because we give him credit today.
I do too.
Once he gets some playmakers, once he gets better quarterback, but it's going to be a long rebuild in New Orleans. But I think with what he has, he is doing a pretty good job to maximize it.
This was a revenge game of sorts because, again, the college connections. Caleb Williams took the job from Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma. You watch him, and there are some throws that he makes that you're like, man, if they just kind of build around him, this team is so far away from being a true contender, it's not going to happen overnight. So if they were able to just stack some assets, build around Rattler to give him one more go, and take a look at him. He's a cost-controlled quarterback. He costs you no money. Build around him. Get your line better. They drafted Kelvin Banks. Work on some other pieces. Just see what you have with Kellen Moore. I think he could be serviceable. Do I think he's the answer to the Saints? Not yet. I'm not going to say that. But he hadn't looked like the worst quarterback in football. So I give Kellen Moore some credit for coaching around what he has here in New Orleans. Kamara can't run, man. He can't run the ball. People are asking, do a would you rather with DeAndre Swift. He's a veteran running back. We don't want to do that.
Fine.
But the big thing, people are like, Rome has been bad since the bye. Name a receiver who's been good since the bye. No, none of them. I think the leading reception leader is Moore. I think got 3 passes this week and like 4 last week. The passing offense is not good. Has not been good since the bye. And had Rome not gotten one of those touchdowns called back off of illegal formation, we're not feeling as bad about it today. It's one of them things. Your receiver ain't gonna smash every week. They're not gonna smash every week. Offensively, the Bears they didn't play good. They got the dub, but they didn't play good ball. Caleb Williams was not good on Sunday. He wasn't good on Sunday, Jay. So I don't have a lot to take away from this one.
Yeah, I mean they played Washington
besides
and New
the running
Orleans,
game,
right?
Yeah.
They played Washington, New Orleans. They didn't need a lot of points to beat those teams. I mean, to be fair, they barely beat Washington, and they got Baltimore this week, Ray. So
we'll see.
Lamar back. Hopefully,
we'll see if Lamar's back
in that one.
We'll see if Lamar's back. Green Bay, Arizona, Jacoby Brissett. Man, almost led the Cardinals to a dub in this one, but some ballsy coaching by Matt LaFleur late, and Micah Parsons went ham. Jay Rich, Mike had 3 sacks.
Yep.
3 sacks from Micah Parsons. My goodness, he was flying off of the edge, causing hell for this Arizona offensive front. Josh Jacobs in the panic about him playing, not playing. Jacobs played. 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love didn't do much in the passing game. It was Tucker Kraft who really led the way, 5 for 58 and a touchdown. Golden, 4 catches. Dobbs, 6 for 72, kind of a Dobbs game. The big takeaway for me in this one was how good Trey McBride is with Jacoby Brissett. 10 for 74 is back-to-back 70-yard weeks for McBride, back-to-back touchdowns in weeks for McBride, back-to-back 10-plus target games for Trey McBride without Kyler Murray. When Kyler's healthy, he's back, right? Right?
That's what Jonathan Gannon says. He says Kyler's their quarterback, even though Jacoby, for everything he's not, he took 6 sacks, didn't throw any picks, he did lose a fumble, but it's hard to not argue that this offense looks better with Jacoby Brissett. It just does. And maybe it's just because I'm looking at it from the fantasy lens, but like imagine if they had James Conner. Imagine if they had Trey Benson, so they had more capable running backs in the backfield.
I thought Bam was fine. Bam was fine.
Yeah, he was fine.
Bam was fine.
But they have better players on the roster at
yes.
that point.
Yes,
and
yes,
they can be more balanced, right? And have that. And especially for a quarterback like Jacoby, you don't want him going back there and dropping back 40 times in a game. But that's what happened. And that's what it required to win. And you compare him to Jordan Love. Like, Jordan Love didn't do a whole lot in this game. And I talk about it a lot with Arizona. As bad as their record is, their defense is actually pretty good. And they don't allow a ton of points, and they're in games a lot, and it's why Kyler is able to win some games and why Jacoby's able to win some games. But they don't make it easy on teams. But it's hard not to look at Kyler Murray and say, dude, like, what are you doing?
Where's their first-round pick at? Didn't they draft old boy from Ole Miss? Walter Nolan? Is he even...
So, no, he's hurt right now. But they opened up his practice window to return this week, or last week, technically. So I think he's practicing and ramping up to play, but he hasn't actually hit the field yet.
Okay. I was like, man, yeah, Nolan, Will Johnson, he's played well. Yeah, I don't have a lot to take away from Green Bay. Jordan Love was fine when they needed him. He was fine.
He made some big plays.
Yeah, he was fine when they needed him. Marvin Harrison Jr., Jay Rich.
This is the perfect Marv game. 6 targets, 2 receptions, 58 yards. Nice 7.8 fantasy points. Let's go, baby. He's kind of unstartable.
What? Like, is he just not as good as we thought he was going to be?
It's how it seems. He gets opportunity. He was the second leading target getter on the team.
He's been getting opportunity every week since he got drafted. He gets opportunity.
Is he still concussed?
He was on the field, 58 yards.
He was on the field.
All right, Jay Rich.
I don't know what to say about him, man. He's just not that guy, I guess.
Jay Rich, we didn't talk about my Cowboys. I just kind of ranted about them early, but we can quickly hit on this one. CeeDee Lamb back. CeeDee Lamb scores. George Pickens, beautiful downfield throws. Ferg did his thing. Javonte Williams, you're starting your Cowboys. You're starting Javonte. You've got Lamb and Pickens playing. Yeah. I mean, those 3 between Lamb, Pickens, and Ferg, that's where the passes should go. And they led the team in targets in sequential order, 6, 7, and 8. 6 for Pickens, 7 for Ferg, 8 for Lamb. That's how the pecking order should probably go, with maybe Ferg or Pickens flip-flop. But both of these receivers are going to be able to thrive with one another, catching passes from Dak Prescott, who I just want to see where he's at right now. 2nd in touchdowns, 2nd in yards, number 1 in QBR, and only 3 interceptions for Dak. Yep. 2nd in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, 1st in QBR. He is playing MVP caliber football on the offensive side of the ball. Unfortunately, the Dallas defense is still awful. Jaden Daniels went out there with nobody. Jay Rich, nobody out there at wide receiver. He led the team in rushing, got Jalen Lane involved a little bit, got hurt. His mama said, stop wish casting RG3 on her son. She came out and said that. Stop doing that. This has been a disappointment. I think JD5, this Washington Commanders team, been a little bit of a disappointment from a team that was one win away from the Super Bowl last year. This is a disappointment, right? Or two wins away from the Super Bowl.
And they're about to be 3-7 because they're not beating the Chiefs. Do you believe they can beat the Seahawks?
No.
On a short week? Probably not. And then they got to play Detroit. It's at least at home.
Tough.
It's tough. Like, that's
Let me just ask you right now. Right now, would you rather have Drake May or Jaden Daniels? Quarterback moving forward. Right now, Drake May or Jaden Daniels?
I mean, Daniels
which one would you rather have? Which one would you rather have? Screw it.
I'd rather have Drake May. You should rather have Drake May. Drake May's doing it with nobody, man. Like, Stephon Diggs isn't nobody, but Kayshon Boutte is nobody. And he's playing pretty well. But I think, Ray, how patient would you be with Daniels?
Pretty patient. I mean, the season's wrecked. They got an old-ass team. McLaurin, they paid him all that money. He's not healthy. Debo's hurt. The running game, I know people love Bill Krosky-Merritt. He's the seventh round. He's
seventh round running back. Yeah.
Right? Like, the hype is just, it doesn't warrant what people were doing. People just excited, ready to bust a nut, right? A lot of people just ready to just, like,
Lord
let
have
go.
mercy, I'm about to
He's
bust.
fine, but he's not that good.
Yeah, it's already Daniels' second injury this season. He sprained his knee. Now he's dealing with a hamstring. It's just a lost season for him. And maybe down the stretch, he can step it up and play well. But yeah, it's tough. Like, Ray, his last 4 games are all divisional games. That's not going to be fun if you're Jaden Daniels. To go at New York, play Philly, play Dallas, both those games at home, and then go at Philly to end the season.
Yeah, that Krosky-Merritt hype, get that up out of here. Straight up.
Crazy.
Last game, Jay Rich, 49ers. This was a battle of the running back ones. Battle of the RB1s. Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson. The Niners won the game 20-10. Mac Jones was the quarterback. Didn't really have to do much because Christian McCaffrey rolled back the hands of time and had this was his best rushing performance of the season by far, Jay Rich. I don't think he had over 69 yards all season outside of week 1. He had 69 yards in week 1. Didn't touch 60 yards again up until tonight. Last night. 24 carries, 129, 2 tutties, 5.4. He ran fast. He was running through defensive backs. I mean, he looked like Christian McCaffrey. Then you go out there and you get 7 for 72. Man, I mean, he showed Bijan those 2 switch jerseys at the end of the game. He's like, hey, young pup, I'm still that dude.
I'm still him.
I know he was hurting this morning, too. See him, he looked like he was, Christian was getting beat up out there, but he got it done. He played phenomenal. Juwan Jennings was on the field. George Kittle, what a letdown. George Kittle, goose egg, but things will get better for Kittle.
Where's Tonjes, right?
No Tonjes or Kittle. You just got absolutely, but you know what? If you started a tight end from San Francisco, nothing from either of those guys. It was Luke Fackrell that caught a pass in the game. Farrell, he's the one that caught one. Other side of the ball, Penix, fine. London didn't do anything. Yeah, San Francisco just dominated them, man. Christian McCaffrey was just dominant. He rolled back the hand of time. He was fantastic in this one. Bijan got it done in the receiving game. Couldn't really get anything going on the ground. Algier got banged up late. London not involved. San Francisco somehow, without Fred Warner, without Brock Purdy, without George Kittle, without Ricky Pearsall, they're 5-2. They're 5-2 on the season, Jay. Takeaways from this one.
Well, it's actually going back to a few things we've already discussed, right? You talked about Philly and their ability to continue to stick with the run. Shanahan has always done that throughout his entire tenure. Regardless of the success, he needs to run the football to set up other plays within the offense, and that's one of the reasons why they won this game. Then going back to the Jaguars' performance and Trevor Lawrence, You see what Trevor Lawrence looks like without a rushing attack. You see what Michael Penix looks like without a rushing attack. It's a drastically different offense and the way that they play and operate. And I think that's the problem right now for the Falcons. When they lose games, it's because they can't run the football effectively. And so if they can't run the football effectively, they're going to lose football games and they're only going to put up 10 points in the game. It's one of those things that's very difficult to judge on a week-to-week basis as to say, am I starting my Falcons this week outside of Bijan? And how is Penix going to look in this game? Right? Because it's all predicated on the success of their rushing attack. And maybe that's how Zach Robinson designed it. And that's certainly how it seemed. And, when we talked about London versus Odunze last week, I said, well, the volume's usually there for London, but I think the touchdowns will be there for Odunze. And even in this game where the volume should have been there, he threw the ball 38 times. Kyle Pitts was great if you started them. Mooney being back and London being the primary focus on defense didn't do him any favors and was kind of just okay. So how do you feel about Penix and London going forward, knowing that these games may come about throughout the season where if they can't run the football, they just simply aren't good enough to overcome that offensively right now?
3 straight weeks of 10-plus targets. 3 straight weeks of 10-plus targets. He still was targeted 10 times. Just wasn't his night. Like every week, they're not going to go off. He's not getting 100 yards a game. What I want to see is the involvement in the offense. He still had 10 targets in the game.
Yep.
I thought he looked good when he caught the ball and got the ball delivered to him. Just one of those games where just wasn't his day. I mean, it really wasn't Bijan's day either. He had 6 for 52. He scored a receiving touchdown. Falcons just didn't play good ball. They didn't play good ball, and there's something to getting punched in the mouth. When you just get the ball slammed up the A-gap repeatedly over, it's football at its finest, man. And it just takes the will out of it drains the clock, breaks the spirit. Like, you couldn't stop Christian McCaffrey. They could not stop Christian McCaffrey no matter what they tried to do. Just a dominant performance. RB1 on the week. RB1. Yep. Jonathan Taylor's 3 touchdowns couldn't hold Christian McCaffrey back. Couldn't hold CMC back because he's so dominant. And when you start looking at these two numbers, CMC, I believe, has got 40 receptions on the season, 40-something catches for Christian McCaffrey. Where's he at on the season? I think it's right around
receptions.
Yeah, 53 catches.
68 targets.
68 targets, Jay Rich, on the season.
I'd be happy with any of my receivers
yards.
having 68 targets. Not to mention my running back.
Running back, right? Running back. He's the ultimate cheat code. He's rolled back the hands of time. The ultimate cheat code. The ultimate cheat code. Bijan Robinson on his way, though. But nothing else to talk about from that game. We got Monday Night Football tonight, Jay Rich. The Lions? Lions and Bucks?
Lions
Bucks.
Are hosting the Bucks tonight.
And then
Should
Texans
be a good
Hawks.
Game. I will be asleep for that one. But
9
enjoy.
p.m. Goodness.
Yeah, no chance, man. No
we had a
chance.
super chat. Jay Rich, let's hit the super chat real quick from Nick Godfrey. 12 teams, start 9. I'm 5-2. QBs are Drake May, Jayden Daniels. Running backs Monty, Harvey, and Cans. Wide receivers Puka, Rome, BTJ, Neighbors. Tight ends Ferg. Trade Neighbors and a late 26 first for Gadson. Trade Neighbors, late 26 first and Aronde Gadson for Justin Jefferson and a Seahawks running back. Would you trade your Neighbors a first and Gadson for Jefferson and Charbonnet or Kenneth Walker? 5-2.
I feel like I wouldn't.
He's got Puka. He's got Rome.
I don't think I want to.
I think it's a fine offer if you want to make that deal.
Yeah.
If you want to make that deal, I'm
iffy on it personally.
I'm probably not doing it right now.
But it comes.
I'm probably
back
not
to
doing it right now. I'm probably just not doing that right now.
What does Jefferson look like with McCarthy? That's the problem.
We're gonna see.
Wentz
I wouldn't
was
do
fine
it right now. We're gonna see.
Jefferson.
We're gonna see, right? What do you think McCarthy looks like when he comes back? Where's D-Bro? Is he still in the chat?
The question is, Ray, when does he come back?
This week.
You think so? But it's short week though. They got Thursday
in LA against the Chargers. They can't roll Wentz out for a 5th game, can they?
I mean, they play Thursday. They got Thursday night in LA to face the Chargers on a short week.
Well, the week after then. I guess they'll roll Wentz out there and
at Detroit for the
Nick is
homecoming
still in the
game?
chat. He said, "Don't feel good about it." I wouldn't do it. That's my first thing. Is no. I would not. I think I'm fine with Neighbors the first and and Gadsden. I'll just ride that a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
I think they wait till the Detroit game, which I would. I do
Good
not
luck.
want to be J.J. McCarthy starting in Detroit.
Yeah. Good luck with that. All right, Jay, hit the music, man.
Tough.
We're done. That's the show. Hour 45. Damn near 2 hours today. Damn near 2 hours, Jay Rich. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Appreciate everybody being in the building, every eye, every ear, whether you're watching on YouTube or on X. Come subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help your boys grow a little bit. We'll be back. 10 things we love and hate going into week 8. Already week 8, man. Season is flying by. Rich.
Yep.
Season is flying by. I got a mock draft that I'm going to drop a little later today. We'll go a little deeper. I went 10 picks. The first 10 picks, I might go 15 right here just to give some new names to the fold. Jay Rich, anything you want to say, people, before we get out of here?
No, man. We got Game 7 tonight. Everyone better tune in.
God.
And everyone better root for the Jays.
Hey, man.
Game 7, right?
Before we go, Shohei, Jay Rich. Shohei Ohtani. Best postseason individual performance ever?
I'm not going to say ever, but it's definitely the most impressive. Definitely the most impressive.
Major League Baseball, is it the best that we saw? For those of y'all, six innings of scoreless pitching, 10 strikeouts, 3 home runs. He single-handedly carried them to victory. Got them Brewers up out the paint. Jay, I'm watching that. Even my boys woke up the next day to watch the highlights on that one. Like, that was up there,
he's
Jay
the best.
Rich.
He's the best player ever. Like, he's the best player ever. And I don't know why people would even dispute that. He's the best player ever.
Incredible.
But tonight,
my Dodgers. My Dodgers,
Jays.
Jay Rich.
Tonight, the
my
Jays.
Dodgers.
Your Dodgers.
All right. Wake up bright and early on Wednesday. Jay Rich and I will be back to do it again. Thank y'all. We love y'all. We out. Have a good Monday. Peace.
Peace.